Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. This is a special Q&A episode with the boys. So if you haven't already seen the full episode, the full interview with Jack and Pete, then go and check it out. This is a Q&A episode though, so if you want to ask us questions, Reese and I always put question boxes on our Instagram on the day that we film or the day before. So if you're not already following us, then follow us. There'll be our Instagrams maybe on screen now or in the description.
Yeah.
So
we're not going to put you guys on there.
They're just we will. We'll plug them as well, of course. Yeah. Okay, you're up, mate.
First one, right?
Oh, you really didn't get many, did you?
No, this was from today. This is the last minute questions.
Okay.
Sit on a cake and eat a cock, or sit on a cock and eat a cake.
These are the kind of questions we get.
Wow, like that. Jeez.
So, which
you were thinking, like, what's your favourite
product? I was.
Sit on a cake and eat a cock, or sit on a cock and eat a cake.
Yeah.
It's not an easy one, though, is it?
No, it's not.
Can you sit on a cock and eat a cock? Is that an option?
That's like the ultimate rough one.
That's the one I was wanting. That one.
Yeah, I always wanted that one.
It's a fruity sport, isn't it?
Yeah. Depends how much tren I'm on, which will be my answer. Like, more tren, sit on a cock. Less tren, eat a cock.
Yeah.
So, okay. I just think, I look at it and think, why the hell would you want to sit on a cake? Because you're not getting the cake. So just sit on a cock and eat a cake, bro. You at least get the cake.
Yeah.
Because there's no positives you get from sitting on a cake.
And it's not in your mouth then. It's like, just put it in there and I won't forget about it and I'll just eat it.
Don't need to do it. You don't need to thrust. Yeah. You know, I can just sit on it. Eat the cake.
I'm probably with you on that one.
Yeah. I think that's the actual appropriate answer.
I think that's
it might be a bit more gay.
Right,
it might be a bit more gay. I don't know what's more gay, cock in mouth or arse.
Not allowed to say gay.
Not say.
Yeah, but
I'm not gay.
Eating a cake is way better than any of the other options.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm looking at.
I'd rather have. Yeah. You better chime in on this. You
can't. Mad question.
This is going to come up in like 3 or 4 years.
I'm still pondering that one. I'm trying to answer it like a politician. I'm like,
I'm like, answer it.
The trend response. That was a great answer because it wasn't an answer, and I was like, I like that, Reese.
Finn, what was yours?
Mine would be sit on a cock and eat a cock.
Okay, fair enough. A lot of trend that.
Yeah.
Right. To be fair, you just said like a PM. What did you say? Like a politician. If you was Prime Minister, or were, what would be the first thing you'd change?
My rose. Oh, snap.
Imagine it's a law.
Reese,
no, yeah, Buddy Rose.
What would you change?
Everybody has to consume something from Conteh Sports
daily.
That would be great.
Yeah,
that would be great.
Yeah. Any opinion, Pete? You're quite a well-versed individual in some things that you disagree with.
I do not give.
Yeah, I'm the exact same.
Fuck about politics.
Yeah.
No, but let's think like more so potentially in the fitness realm. What would you change if it's not
change
politics? But
the general government advice on nutritional intake for the population.
Good answer.
Because it's really bad.
It's awful.
You know what? Everyone's overweight. You know. Just hear me out.
So everyone would be having 3 caps of pre-shred.
No, I was having this conversation the other day. Like, we are in a circle where we spend 100% of our time with like the 2% of the population.
Yeah, people who look after themselves.
Literally, we go to an expo, everyone's in shape.
Yeah.
Like everyone's in decent nick, and then you've got everyone that competes who are just like in unbelievable shape.
Yeah.
But like, where was I the other day? I was in the Trafford Centre last night.
Yeah.
Everyone is overweight.
Yeah.
Like,
it is horrific, isn't it?
It's so bad.
But like,
it's the same thing as like, you know, when
or expenditure, anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to be taught from day one, like let's just say you do 10,000 steps. Like, there's nothing magic about 10k steps, but if you were told steps, expenditure, calorie intake, calories invest, calories out, it would be problem solved for
I don't know
most
why.
people.
Like, it's really not difficult to teach at school as well as it. Literally, energy balance.
Yeah.
Like, it's a simple concept.
Yeah.
It's that, and it's also, you know, I worked in like a corporate environment while I was at uni as well, and I'd go in the office and like have my meal prep, and the people that would be like eating like Greg's pasties and like
just get the piss taken
would
out,
give me shit for like my breakfast, and
Yeah.
I'm like, have you seen?
I used to get the piss taken out of me all the time for whatever food I had.
Like uni, I used to sit in lectures and eat, and people were like,
same.
why are you eating that for like meal one?
Yeah.
And like, because I don't want to look like you.
Yeah. And because what does it matter? Like, I'd never question what anyone else is eating. Like, it's not up to me. You can eat what you want.
Yeah.
So why does it matter what I'm eating? You know,
That shit I used to get for
just
cream rice at my uni house with the boys.
How did you make it though? Did you make it perfectly, or was
No, my
was it a bit lumpy? Because
my cream rice used to be like yours until
no wonder you got
I prepped.
Yeah.
And then it became more like yours because when
food focused.
I appreciate
less
it.
food focused, more food focused.
Yeah. You just can't make it. You know you can't make it.
They just used to be like, oh, you're making that like brown stuff, and I'd be like, yes, Yeah. That's literally what it got now. That's in like the house. Just chocolate cream rice.
I pulled cream of rice out at a football game last year, Man City game. I'm not joking, I had like 4 or 5 people around me just go, the fuck is that? And I was just like, by the end, I think I must have just said, I was like, it's like baby food. It's just like,
There's people like, what is that? And I might think about the carbohydrate equivalent of whey protein.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can describe this to you.
That's actually a good
it's
way.
It's just powdered rice.
Yeah.
All right.
Why would you eat that?
Why that?
Because my hunger is at RP 10. Maybe.
And then they'll ask something else. Like, just let me fucking eat.
I find the baby spoon's weird, though. I will say.
I don't have a baby spoon, but I have like a metal version, so it doesn't look like a baby spoon.
I have like a latte spoon.
One. Yeah,
it's smaller.
Yeah, that's it.
But like people that are like, especially people in off season that still eat with baby spoons, I think like sort yourself out.
Yeah,
you're not eating that much food then.
Yeah,
you do that, do you?
Cream of rice, cream of rice.
Like an actual little baby spoon in your off season.
Pink baby
no, just for cream of rice because it annoys me because I don't like the sound. It's more so for me with my autism probably. I don't like metal on glass, so it like gives me like goosebumps slightly. So it just I don't really
it's
like
the
it.
people that are like 1,000 carb and they're still eating like. I think no.
Yeah.
Right, now we've got a question that is more like a PG question. One Conteh product for the rest of your life.
Ooh, that's a good one. We'll all answer that. Go round table. You two first.
Let's hate, man.
Organ defence. Yeah. Jack, come on.
Yeah.
You want to live past like 30?
Yeah,
Organ
that's
defence.
fair.
I'd probably say for the rest of my life it would be the electrolytes because I'm not going to say pre-workout
every day,
every single day. Carb drive, not happening.
What if you had like an unlimited supply of it? Like you don't need imagine unlimited supply of Mega Pump, like 5 scoops a day.
I do that anyway.
Constantly.
When you're like, why is there no Mega Pump left in stock? This guy. Probably be it would be a coin flip between Supreme Sleep and Hydroflow, and I would be happy with whichever one.
I'd say Hydroflow for Supreme Sleep if you brought it for me today.
Yeah. Just trying to ruin Reese.
If you're thinking about like the one that you use the most, I use Hydroflow the most.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking, what would I like miss if I could never have it again?
I get more upset when I don't have Supreme Sleep.
Oh yeah.
Than I do Hydroflow. Like, when we had Hydroflow, it was out of stock for a week or a couple of weeks, whatever it was. I was a bit like, I can live. But when Supreme Sleep's got them, I'm like I thought about bringing my Supreme Sleep for you today, and I thought I don't like him that much.
Supreme Sleep is banging. Yeah. Very good. Maybe the repair though, like the vanilla or the salt caramel. Like I wouldn't mind because then I've got protein for the rest of my life. Don't even have to worry about like.
I feel like I guess for point in any off season, I just hate whey. Like I just find it too sickly. So I'd probably say, I'd say Hydroflow.
I'd do Hydroflow or Supreme, but I don't think you'd be mad at whichever one it landed.
That's a good one.
Can we get a story time of Pete snapping his arm? Well, we said it on the last one, but give us a short, let's say a 30-second summary.
Came out bathroom, went lightheaded, got up at the bottom of the stairs, arm snapped, metal plate's now in it, sets the alarms off at the airport. There we go.
Is that actually?
I think so. I've been told about it.
You've not been away since.
Well, I had a client competing internationally, and I was like going to go, and they were like, "You're not allowed to fly with your arm like that." And I was like,
Really?
"Boss." Yeah, because it was like
pressure and
a couple of
stuff,
days post surgery.
Oh yeah, it's quite close.
When it snapped, the like part of the bone like pierced into my bicep, like bleeding, so it like swelled out. So like, there's not a fucking chance you're flying. I was like, it's like an hour flight.
You'd have like those like synth alarms, like your arm would be like stupidly swollen.
Well,
You'd be like, oh, actually, I look like a train.
Put a bit of Mediform in it to try and like cause some swelling.
You spoke about this, yeah. That'd be a question. So Mediform protocol, what have you been running? So
protocol in general, like just so Ryan.
We spoke about this.
Yeah,
so quite interesting. For
first
people.
time I used Mediform, which I would not advise to anyone. We did the whole bottle, which is 30 ml.
Do you know what Mediform is, Finn?
Yeah, like we spoke about it. Didn't we?
Like, it just looks like glue.
It's
like aspartic acid.
Not synthol, like a good
essentially lip filler. So I think people use it in competition prep to just enhance sites, make them look like they're bigger when they go on stage and stuff like that.
Tom did a reel on it, didn't he?
Tom yeah.
Like Ryan used it at the British, and he looked like he was about 20 pounds bigger with like no sacrifice like condition. So you could, because it swells like under the muscle. I think I'm 99% sure. So like he still had like very very striated pecs and delts and stuff. So I think a secondary application of it is just obviously like with that intracellular swelling, it's going to bring a load of like nutrients and stuff into the muscle. So we've used it for like almost like a rehab tool. But the first time we put it in, we were a bit like unsure of what to do with it, and we just pinned the whole bottle between like my triceps. So like 3/4 of it went in this arm, and then just he put a little bit in this arm to like make sure I didn't look like fucking Popeye with one massive arm. And then I just think like the reaction I had to using a little bit too much. The next day I was a little bit unwell. But since then we've just kept 4 mil in every other week.
Yeah.
And since I've been doing it, like I have noticed that more and more detail of like the triceps come back, like the arm obviously is a bit fuller anyway.
Yeah.
Because of that, but like it just feels better when I train as well. Like I don't know, it almost feels like
the connection there. It's almost like
it's like almost like just feels a little bit more stable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Mediform protocol, just 4 mil every other week.
Yeah.
It's going okay. Not planning on doing it forever.
Yeah.
Don't want to. It's expensive.
Yeah. How much is it for like what's your outlay on it?
I think so I bought a few bottles at a time because that was cheaper.
Yeah.
But I think it works out about £70 per bottle.
Okay.
And then, like I said, I bought quite a few at once, so it was a lot less than that.
How many mils are in a bottle?
30.
Okay. So it's not that expensive for what you're running now.
No,
it's 4 mil every other week. Yeah.
But like when I've heard people when they compete, like they're literally doing like 30 mil across the whole body, which is like what I did the first time I put it in. Yeah. Like we put like 8 mil in my short head, which is where all the damage is. 5 in the long head, a couple of mil in each bicep, and then the rest just went in like this tricep. But like if you were doing that every week before a show, like obviously that would be expensive.
Yeah.
And then I know a few coaches like to use it in off season with clients.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
And like that, I trained after it, and it was like the most ridiculous pump ever. I was like stupidly full, but I was like, this is also extremely painful.
Yeah.
So if you were getting someone to do that, like I know people that every time they train arms, they're pinning a couple mil in each head of tricep and bicep every single time they train arms, like 3 times a week. And I'm like, not only is that stupid thing.
It's also like the not the same sense of pinning, but like the pain.
Yeah.
I'd argue that like it's the same as like when people do like like intramuscular like L-carnitine
it's a fucking
shots and stuff
it's
like
a
that.
bitch to get through.
I'd imagine that, and then trying to train. I'd almost argue you might be better for a short period of time, like 2 or 3 weeks. So competition wise, maybe makes sense. In an off season, I'd argue your training's going to be like if you're so full to the point you can't even fully extend your arm.
I train push after it.
Your triceps aren't going to grow.
I was like, I could not feel anything.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Like it was so dumb. Couldn't lock my arms out. I was like, the training session was like wank for performance.
Yeah.
Visual and like how I felt was incredible.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But it's dumb, but like
short term,
like 100 psi. But like when you're pinning like 5 mil in your arm every time you train arms, so that's 10 mil. So you're doing a whole bottle a week. It's bloody expensive, and also just the pain of that. Like, fuck that, man. People do some mad stuff in this sport.
It is weird, isn't it? Yeah, I've seen people do like the L-carnitine, ATP, choline. Yeah. And they'll do like, so I do 2 here, 2, and it's like, you're just training your fucking biceps, bro. Yeah. Like, do you really need to be doing 4?
Like, I will use this again when I compete, because I will, like, they've reinserted my tricep too low, so I need to fill that gap back out. Yeah. I'll use it for that, but other than like...
Is it a deep needle in comparison to like a... Is it just... Because you said if it's under the muscle, I'm guessing you have to do like what? Like a...
I'm pinning it with...
Harpooning yourself?
No, I got advised to do that and I was like, no, fuck that shit. I'm just using like normal oranges.
Okay, fair enough. If you were to be like, green 23, I'd be like, no.
Draw it with a green and then...
Or like a blue 20 or whatever, it's like 18.
Someone that I know that's pinning their arms every time they train, I was like, how are you doing this? And they gave me like their methods of it and I was like, nope. Yeah. Not happening. Yeah. They were like, you need to get like a 5 mil barrel, fucking put a blue on it. And I was like, no, I'm alright. I'll just have a clapped arm, mate, I'm good.
Yeah. Right. Your one?
Best pre-workout, and then they sort of premised it with no tingly ones.
Oh, Mega Pump.
Yeah.
Do you guys actually like stimulant pre's like normally? Cause
not anymore.
Yeah.
I used to love them.
Yeah. I think everyone's gone through that phase.
Yeah, I
used to love them.
Yeah, when you like first few years of training, like it's class in it. But...
It was just literally like what I used to remember going like before Conteh Sports. You'd go into the shop and be like, "What's the maddest pre-workout?"
What's going to send me the most?
We used to, didn't we? Like, have stupid ones that like would make us feel horrendous for like the rest of the day.
Did you ever try that? It was like Berserk or something.
We had one called Anomaly, didn't we? It was like disgusting.
Like when MP came out,
a month later. Awful. Yeah, it was banned a month later. Yeah.
Like I used to love them. And then I just feel shit after it.
Yeah. It's weird though.
So like training performance would be worse. I'd get so
anxious,
so amped up. Like I'd be like, wicked buzzing, and then my set would just be dog shit because I've just lost my head.
Yeah.
It's probably also at the time where I was like really into like watching like training videos. I'd watch like JP do something.
Yeah.
I think
Everybody did the same
Yeah.
thing, didn't they? Like,
now I much prefer being like more settled, going into the set,
yeah.
music on, get myself in like a state of like.
I think
right,
you learn as well like the benefit of just like your recovery and your sleep and your ability to eat after the session. And then you think, is it actually worth?
I think it's such
like,
a good tool to use. Like I'll use conviction religiously on like a hack squat day or something like that. But like I don't need it for a push session. I don't need it for a pull session.
I like it on earlier sessions.
Yeah.
But even then, like I'll have like a half a scoop where I can feel I've had something and I benefit from it, but I don't then like have that knock-on effect where I feel like I've took too much or feel like I've had like a come down from it. But to be fair, I haven't had that from conviction because I've not had enough of it. I think if I was to have like 2 scoops of conviction, I'd feel.
Last time I took conviction, he was peer pressuring me to take more.
Yeah, because you took like that much.
I don't take any real caffeine in my off seasons, and Finn was like, "Oh, it's early. You taking some conviction?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I can do." So I gave myself like a quarter of a scoop, and Finn was like, "More than that? I did way more." And he was like, "Have that."
When we trained legs after the British last year, I think Louis and I were in there. You were in with I don't know who you were with, and
Louis loves a stimble.
yeah, Louis like we were going down and like over the day. We had like a couple of modafinil and stuff. And Louis was like double scooping conviction and giving it me, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't need
Louis
it.
just throws the kitchen sink.
Yeah, Louis like, there you go, get that down. It's a big session. This, and I'm like, I'm gonna have like a heart attack. I'm alright. Like, just give me some mega pump. And he was like, so you're a pussy then? I was like, alright, okay, I'll drink it.
Yeah, must be.
Yeah, I must be. Sorry.
Louis just peer pressure on it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You build up a tolerance though, because like when I was younger, I used to be like 3 scoops of C4. That granted was shit.
Yeah.
But like I'd have like 3 scoops of that, like wash it down with a white Monster, and then I remember like one of my mates gave me some G Fuel. Do you know what G Fuel is? And then he said, "Oh, there's no caffeine." And I looked at the tub, so I take a scoop of that, and it had like 150 milligrams of caffeine. And I remember one time I was training, I had to sit down because my heart was like, and I worked out I had like 1.1 grams of caffeine in a pre-workout at 7 p.m. Went round to like my girlfriend at the time, couldn't sleep till like 3 a.m. And I'd be like, "This is lovely, this is the life, this is training." And I'd wake up the following day to do the exact same. I'd just be like, "Yep, let's go for it."
I ruined one of my ex-girlfriend's like mum's birthday meal because of pre-workout.
Shut yourself.
No, like way too much caffeine. I was sat at the table and they were like, "Is he on drugs? Is he all right?" Because I'd just gone so pale and I was like shaking. And one of the lads at the gym had like one of the high def in. I might have to bleep this out. I don't know if they get in trouble. You know, high def in Kirkstall Lane, high definition supplements or something. It's literally just all right. They sell like Jack 3D by the scoop from an old tub.
Yeah, but the original.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, and he'd given us that before we trained. He was like, "I've got this, you should try it." I just didn't say anything because I think he knew I'd be like, "I'm not using it." Fucking ruined me. I was like feeling like you. I was like, "Where's my
People
blood
used
pressure?"
to use that all the time though, didn't they? Like
Yeah.
when it wasn't banned, it was just like one of the main ones that everyone knew it blew your head off, but it was just like
I had like a couple coffees and monsters that day as well. I was already probably sitting at like a reasonable amount of caffeine and like a big scoop of that, and I was like,
Do you know the girl that died from it?
Yeah,
Literally was like good friends with one.
No way.
Yeah,
mad.
yeah, Claire Squires. Yeah, she was the one who was sipping on it while she was running a marathon.
Fuck
So
that.
running a marathon.
Yeah.
So yeah, we like imagine running around, repeating myself, but like a marathon.
Yeah.
Like 3 scoops of like I don't know if how many
people
scoops.
don't like
and like
understand
sipping.
though, do
Anytime
they?
you get low energy, I'll just have a bit more pre. Your heart rate's just getting
I mean,
cranked higher and
caffeine's such
higher
a
and
tool.
higher.
Like when you like, I'll drink decaf coffee all the time because I like the taste of coffee.
Yeah.
But like when you start using caffeine like as a tool to get stuff done, it's so fucking productive.
Yeah.
If you're just slamming it, it's just like wasted.
Yeah. I'll use it like I never really have like I'll have 1 coffee a day but then when I'm prepping I can easily do like 300, 400, 500 milligrams and be like I feel so good because I usually never have it. So like in an off season there was like points where I don't think I had any caffeine for about 2 to 3 months like towards the back end of last year, but then when I like started dieting and my food was like pretty low I was like, oh, if I feel a bit more tired I'll have a Monster, and I'm like, oh, I feel it, you know. But nowadays people just crank it up.
Yeah, my caffeine intake's conviction on like a lower body day.
Yeah.
And then maybe a Monster a day, or it's either a coffee or a Monster.
Yeah,
I literally have conviction like half a scoop on a Saturday morning. Other than that, it's literally just like decaf coffee. I don't need it, and it's an appetite suppressant. And like when energy's fine from food and sleep, it's like I say, if you have a day where you're feeling a bit sluggish and I've got a lot of work on, then you have a bit and you're like, oh shit, like it actually is really.
I think when it's a high quality pre-workout as well, like conviction, you don't need full scoops.
No.
You don't need 2 scoops of that. But when it is like a dog shit brand pre-workout,
like
you are taking like 3 or 4 scoops, aren't you, to try and get that buzz, and you can easily achieve that off half a scoop.
Yeah,
like,
especially when like you say when your tolerance is low, you don't have it a lot.
That tub lasts you a while as well.
Yeah.
So you rarely say like, "Can I get some conviction?"
No, I rarely.
I think I rarely bring it as well. It's like mega pump.
Yeah, Yeah, I'll use Mega Pump.
Rinse that.
Mega Pump Hydroflow.
Mega Pump's
Supreme
solid day.
Sleep, they're like the ones
Yeah,
that you need.
Convection,
all the
I think
time.
I've only ever had 2 tubs from you guys.
Yeah.
I literally will just like use it Saturdays when we train a bit earlier.
Sparingly
Or
go
like
with.
if I'm randomly training just a bit earlier in the weekend, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, sound, I'll use a scoop. You know, or if it's like a sluggish day and I'm like, okay, it's not too late, I can have it like midday.
Yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I feel like, especially now, I can't imagine ever going back to being like, I used to sit my pre on the way to the car, get the tingles, get into the gym and be like, let's fucking go. At a pure gym, training like an absolute weapon. But I'd be like, yeah, let's go, I'm full send this.
I think everyone needs that stage of training though. 'Cause, like, that's how you fall in love with it, and then you learn to like.
And then you
actually,
start
like,
hating it, but it's just part
What's
of your
your,
routine.
what's your opinion on people that drink pre-workout?
throughout the session.
Or, yeah,
Monster.
like Monster, it does my head in.
It does
Yeah.
my head. The amount of times I have to, like, I don't tell clients off, but I like explain it to them, like,
Yeah.
why are you doing this? And they're like, I just like it. It tastes nice. I'm
Nothing
like,
wrong with an
fair
intra
enough.
workout monster.
Like, if you really want to do it, fair enough. I'm like, look, I don't want you doing it. And I don't want to be sharing stories where you've got a monster next to you while you're doing a set. Like, no,
I get like
I'm
4
not sharing
feet back and I'm like, why is there a pink monster following me around this
I'm
gym?
like,
Yeah.
is that your monster? And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah. I'm
I'm
like,
like, ugh,
shouldn't be.
should have nailed that before.
A bit of a weird question. So
Where did
can-
the cake-
Right, we had the cake.
Yeah,
and the
no.
cocktail.
Design a band / music group. What genre would you play and what would it be? What instruments? So
What, for like the Conteh team?
So
Oh, that's quite a good
yeah.
one.
What
So
type of
what-
band would we be? What would we
Yeah.
do? I don't know. There's such a eclectic mix of Conteh sports athletes now.
yeah,
I think overall, a lot of us listen to like hip hop
yeah.
and like
Ice Spice and Doja Cat.
yeah,
thing.
loves a bit.
Have you come out of that phase yet, or you still listen to them?
No, I don't really listen to music as much as I did at the end. I was like, towards the end of prep, it was anything to try and give me some energy. So like, I'd find new songs or whatever. Whereas now, like, I don't really. I use music before a set and during a set, but like before, I was like 5 minutes before getting to the gym, I'd stop working, and I'd listen to like a couple of songs.
From Doja Cat.
Usually Ice Spice or Doja Cat. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'd collectively just be one like really dysfunctional hip hop band.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think that's probably the main.
What instruments would we play though? Can I imagine you on the piano?
I can play keys.
Can you?
Yeah.
I knew you like a guy that played the piano.
I'm trying to think what everyone listens to on there. No one's really got that obscure music taste.
Yeah.
on it. Yours and I is very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Slightly different to you.
I just love Doja Cat.
You just love you
Yeah.
just love 50 Cent.
50 Cent's cool.
50 Cent.
Like all we talk about this whenever we do like obviously we did that shoot the other week with you guys
Yeah.
at Derby. Like all the music's always like R&B, rap, grime, hip hop. That's kind of like the Conteh sports.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah.
I used to listen to that on the way to school. My
Elite.
mum would listen. I put that in the car when I was like 5, talking about killing people. I'd just be there like, yeah, ready for
As a kid,
ready for
like,
maths.
Math.
As
Yeah.
a kid, you don't listen to the lyrics or think
No,
about the
no.
lyrics. If you like the beat, you just sing it
I used to
along.
hear
You
like
go back and
I'd
listen
hear
to
gunshots
something.
going
You
off. And I was like,
understand
this
it
is
now.
cool.
You're like, what the fuck
Yeah,
was that?
I was literally
Yeah.
singing stuff when I was like 10.
Yeah.
Like, my parents wouldn't be like,
Yeah.
why are you singing these? It's just like,
Why
what
do you know
do?
these words off by
Yeah.
heart, Finn?
Mental, isn't it?
Right.
I've got
Go on.
quite a few. Are we going to the Arnolds? Yes.
Yes.
You're not going to
Yeah.
the
Brandon going this year, no.
Be there as people though.
We'll be as people.
Yeah, as people.
Yeah, we're not
Just
going
regular
this year.
civilians.
Yeah,
Just
go on,
seeing
what
what
it's
it's
like.
like.
How come? Because you went, you were there last year, weren't you? The
Yeah,
band
so
was
we've
there.
done the last 2 Arnolds. I don't know what I can say and what I can't say.
Different company running it at this time. Communication wasn't the best.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty
Yeah, you're
obvious.
not saying
no,
no,
man,
man.
yeah.
Everyone I've spoke to, it's pretty obvious it's out there that it's a bit naff, the whole
Yeah.
communication side.
That's it.
To
Obviously, when I think from a brand
stores
point of
and
view,
stuff.
it's
bit of
it is a
risk.
financial commitment going.
Yeah.
Would you rather assess if it works with the new setup,
Yeah.
then make that financial commitment later down the line, or gamble and
Yeah.
potentially be annoyed that you've just wasted
X amount
X amount of money? So
Yeah.
I think that covers it without incriminating anyone or saying anything we shouldn't
No,
say.
that's fine. And the thing is, as well, like the amount of stuff that we say on this podcast.
Yeah, you
like,
guys have been incredibly
You've been
PG,
very
like,
good.
Yeah, like we said stuff that we had afterwards, like, do you reckon we'll be alright? Maybe not.
I always think about this on the way down. I was like, there's like only a few things that I could probably say that I'd be like, you've got to take that out.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, mate. Well, this is like
yeah.
the standards here are like really.
I don't think we have to
really
cut
low.
anything out of this
So
one
I
so
don't.
far.
Like, there's very few people like I've got an issue with in the industry, or like
Yeah.
a question to come up about them.
Name
or
them.
something.
Opinions on.
Right. Other questions. What are your favourite workout splits and why? Let's just say what split are we all on? What's your split, Jack?
My split at the minute is...
Whatever I can do.
I've only just got... I've literally just said to myself, stop like being a dick. start training and start eating properly again. Do you know what I mean? So, split at the minute is my favourite split actually. Chest focus push session, then posterior, rest day on a Wednesday, push again on a Thursday but delts, pull on a Friday, legs on a Saturday, Sunday off.
That's very similar to what we do, right?
Yeah,
Like
just
push
a bit
pull
like
legs,
flip
yeah.
tops
upper
like
lower,
that.
but kind of a bit more of a density focus session.
We
and then,
like for a while we were like pissing about trying to like get a split that just like fit both of our weaker points and like we still should train together. And then we just went just do pull push legs, like pull push legs upper lower.
Yeah.
We're like just fucking stop like making it overcomplicated and just do
Everything gets done twice a week.
Yeah.
Sound.
And you can bias like most of the sessions we'll train like 2/3 of it together.
Yeah.
And then like you'll go off and do a little bit of something else and I'll do something else that's like weaker on my physique. It's like we still train together, but it's not the exact same.
Yeah.
But it works quite nicely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What's yours?
What's yours? Right arm,
Push,
left arm.
push, lower, pull, upper, lower.
Wait, push, lower, pull, upper. Oh, okay, so same. So all running the same split. Yours just
Just slightly different order. That pull day, do you have like? Is it just a back day?
Yeah, the second lower day is a bit wavy. Like my training's changed quite dramatically since I've gone with Ryan because I've always been top set back off, very low volume.
Now you're doing length and partials and
Now,
mid-fall.
yeah, fuck loads of LPs.
Yeah, LPs.
We love LPs.
Yeah.
on the podcast, mate.
LPs, rep matches, minor pauses, weird hack squat,
Stuff that in about a year
half
or
rep
two
set things.
they
Won't
won't
be
be
popular,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be
back
doing
to
different.
Samsung like what
Yeah,
the others are.
yeah.
No, it's changed quite a bit. So that lower day, that second lower day is like a bit of like there's a hinge in there as well.
Brian's getting to a hinge. Wow,
Crazy,
physique
bro.
collective.
Yeah.
This
Maybe
maybe a
the
new
45-degree hip extension, yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's the back extension, not
stiff
like,
leg.
Yeah.
It's a stiff leg now.
Really?
So yeah, that second day is a line hamstring curl, stiff leg, single leg press.
This
Then-
when I saw you on Saturday when you said you'd done this session.
Yeah, then it goes into a
LP
like
level
half
extension.
rep hack squat set, so it's like down halfway up.
Oh,
back down.
integrated partials.
Integrated partial.
Yeah.
That's the right real name. Integrated partials.
I'm not too technical with it.
Yeah.
And then there's like
IP, there.
IPs, a couple IPs in there, and then there's some LPs on leg extension.
Oh, IPs into LPs.
IPs,
I like
IPs,
it.
That's the way you do it.
I do that.
It's a nice.
We take the piss out of it, but I do all of these things.
I kind of get on with it because he's given like some low rep sets and some things that I'm like used to doing that I really enjoy doing, and then it goes into like more of the.
You know what? I think actually the like lengthened partial work and like integrated partials actually works really well on lower rep stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you have like an 8 rep on a leg press, but you do integrated partials, it feels like you've done 20 reps, but you've done 8 reps. Like, well, you've basically done 16 because you've done those half reps, but you finish the set and it's not as demanding as like a 20 repper.
Yeah.
But your quads feel the same. It's like I quite like that. I think you benefit from it.
Yeah, my execution's so bad I just do half reps constantly. So like, on rows, I only ever work in that length and range, and then I just do.
You only work in the shortened range. You don't get any back
yeah,
length.
yeah, true. Actually, it's shortened.
You just work in the mid range. You don't get short
I
or
thought,
length.
I thought it was hip extension. I was just like literally doing almost like a glute drive.
I thought it was an RDL that you were.
It's
Yeah.
when we were shooting, Aaron like, what's respot I do? I don't know. There's a lot of weight in the bar. I'm not quite sure what it's.
Yeah, it might be a deadlift, bro.
He might try and start cleaning it.
You
I'm
know
not
what
sure.
is funny though? Like, what does it matter? You know, like in all
Yeah.
seriousness, people will go like, "Oh, what's that for?" Like, and it's like, I'm just rowing. I'm literally just bending over and rowing. Like, yeah, but what are you
I'm moving
biasing?
weight.
Like, it's from my back. Like, my whole back will get a stimulus from this.
There's
Like,
a guy who trains at Be Modified. Won't
can name
mention
him.
names. Oh, okay, Brandon.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice dude.
Yeah, but he's a nice guy.
It's
I
just
don't
like
think
the
he'd be
back.
bothered.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
he's
nah.
sound. Transform with Brandon is his Instagram name. Someone sent this to him. I just clip it, record, and send it to him. And he came up to me about maybe 4 or 5 months ago. It was before he's coached by Nathan, and he was saying to me like I was doing he said, "Oh, can I jump in on this Cybex row?" I was like, yeah, sure. It might have been Life Fitness or whatever. And I was doing it, and he was like, is that upper back bias? Or, like, I want it to be lat bias. Where should I have the seat position? And I literally looked at him, I was like, I don't know, bro, I'm just rowing. And he was like, oh, but like, yeah, he goes, but if I do this, I feel it more on my upper back. And I was like, what do you want to do from it? And he was like, mid back or whatever. And I was like, do it like this and see how it feels. And he was like, okay, cool. And he was like, oh, that was really good. I was like, yeah, because you haven't overthought. You
I
haven't
feel like
thought
so
I
many
need to do
people
this
are
perfectly.
so hyper focused on chasing like sensation and accuracy that there's fuck all effort.
You were saying, weren't you, yesterday to that guy? Like, back in the day, it used to be too far the other way, where it was just like go in and throw weight around and something will happen. Like, you get to a certain extent, like you do build muscle.
It needs to be a
from that.
happy marriage.
But now it's the other way, and it's like you walk in a gym and like everybody's training. Well, not everybody, but most people are training like way too far the other side. Everything's about being accurate, and they're not even like struggling. Like literally, like they'll finish a pull down like. And then that's the
I
set,
can't
and
get my
it's
lash
like,
out. I also need to let go.
you're not even really like putting in any effort.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of that has come from coaches trying to sell coaching in terms of like
1,000%.
like
overanalyzing,
overanalyzing, using big words, not overeducating, but overeducating to try and give themselves a USP.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's why it's lent so far to the right.
Yeah.
Whereas years ago it was so far to the left.
Yeah.
You'd watch a Ronnie Coleman video and go,
Yeah.
Well,
I
do
think
you know what I
that's,
mean?
that's the thing as well. Like if your rows were absolutely like perfect, it'd be so fucking boring to watch.
And it wouldn't be that. You wouldn't grow much muscle.
There'd be
I
no-
guarantee
wouldn't
you. It'd be
at all.
shit.
That's-
There'd be no weight on the bar. Like it'd just be boring to watch. Like there's some people that like you follow them on Instagram and their form is immaculate, but you just watch their sets and you're like,
Yeah.
and you want to watch some mad cunt go and squat 8 plates and it's a little bit sketchy.
Yeah.
But you're like, fuck, that's
I
well, that's
think-
why
I
it's
think-
massive as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
But
that's
But it attracts that kind of clientele.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
Think about the beginner lifter. They can look at somebody training with immaculate form and 2 plates in the bar and go, I can do that.
yeah.
But you look
Yeah.
at somebody who's squatting 8 plates and go, I'm way off that. I
Yeah.
can't do that.
So it doesn't.
You know,
attract
and what's
that kind of
easier?
clientele.
Like,
Yeah.
let's be honest, what's easier, taking a hack squat or like a leg press all the way there, or just going in and being like, right, so I'm going to do a partial here, or I'm going to do, like I said,
Yeah.
full range of motion.
There's a lot of
I think,
guys as well
you
that
know,
they've come full circle. They started off training like that, just sending it, doing
Yeah.
whatever. They've grown shed loads of muscle.
I was saying this exact.
And then now when you watch their
conversation.
content, it's
Yeah.
so meticulous and whatever. And it's like you've not built a single gram of muscle on your
No.
frame training like that.
But now you're preaching that
About
this is the
that's
best
how
way.
you build
yeah.
it.
And I'm all for
Yeah.
like, learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
But it's like you look at their improvements now. It's like you made way more improvements 2 years ago when you started
Yeah.
training like that to that.
I think it's about like finding, like we said at the start,
Yeah.
finding that balance. Like, I think what's been great for us is that we learned to train like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
And we trained like idiots for like years.
it's way harder to get someone to train intensely than it is accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if someone comes to me and they're like, their intensity is phenomenal, I'm like, brilliant. If
Yeah,
you're accuracy
sound.
shit, I don't care. We can fix that.
Yeah.
But if it's the other way around, it's like
Come on, train
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah.
Like
really having to
every
try and
single
communicate with
voice
them, like
note.
lose your head a little bit.
Every
there,
voice
like-
note's like, you've got more here, you've got more
Yeah.
here. Whereas like
Yeah.
when you've got someone who's like, okay, you probably need to pull back a bit, you'd be an
Yeah.
idiot. Like they'll do like 3 rest pauses on a deadlift and you're like, mate, like
Yeah.
you failed, stop.
Mhm.
Like, no, I want to keep going.
Yeah.
You're like, no wonder you're fucked all the time.
Yeah.
We trained
But
with
like you
Josh.
can tweak those. You can't make people. Or you can, but it takes
It's
a lot
so
longer
hard
to
to
get
communicate
someone
that
to
with them. Like,
Yeah.
I find myself going through like my training clips of where I've maybe like lost my head a little bit before a set, and you can visually see like the frustration, like the arousal while doing that set. And I'm like, this is where my head's in this position. You need to have
But
this
people then nowadays that's taking the piss out of. Like we get the piss taken out of us for getting switched on for a
slapping
set.
machines.
Yeah, but we do.
Yeah, but you
But
gotta-
like, if I like feel that I need to do that, I don't always need to do that.
No.
I need to do that at times when maybe fatigue's quite high and I'm just like struggling to switch on today. So I'll slap a machine
But
to
it's
the
the
point where
peop-
my
the
hand
people that do
fucking
it for,
kills
like, a
and then
fucking car
heart rate
race.
goes up,
Yeah.
adrenaline
Yeah,
goes up,
yeah.
and you're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, there's a time and a
So, yeah.
place.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place.
Yeah,
Like,
we used to do it on everything.
every
'Cause
single set
we were
was
learning
like,
to
need to be
when to use
100%.
it.
Yeah.
You know, like don't speak to me. Gotta
Doing
be
it on- doing it on
focused.
Honestly,
like
our
races and
sessions
stuff
would be
like
like 5 hours, and
Yeah.
not because of that. With every set, we had to get like so
Drains you
switched
as
on.
well. Like
Oh,
there's only
mate.
so many times.
It's so much more
Find it's
fatiguing
like-
than it needs to be.
Because
But
you
do it
got like a top set
selective.
song.
I have songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few, and I'm like, they only get like broken out when I'm gonna hit hinge,
Yeah,
or
really
maybe I'm
need it.
doing something like that.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to waste that either.
No.
The same with that level of like that state of arousal. Like you can only
Call upon that
Yeah,
so many
it's
Like
times
on
before
those,
you need to have a
those
bit of
Saturday
break.
sessions when we both used to hinge,
Yeah.
and we'd both probably take like 10 minutes before a set, and we both just knew, like, we didn't talk to each other,
Yeah.
we just let each other go and do it, do your thing,
Yeah.
and we progressed like months and months and months in a row,
Yeah.
because we were just like, all our energy went into that,
Yeah.
and like every single week we were like, that's what like, we loved about
Yeah.
training, and like, I still think about that now. I can't properly hinge at the minute, but like, I still think about that as being like some of the best sessions that we ever had, because
Yeah.
we like we
Yeah.
used it for that one set or two
Yeah.
where we like really got switched on. But we learned because we used to do it for every set, and then you find like, fuck, I can't do it for every set.
Yeah.
Like it's battering me.
Yeah.
but you
Some
then
of
do
the
it for main
mental. I
thing.
remember when Sanaya like first came to the gym with me. She was like, "You do that every week on prior to
What are
deadlift."
you doing? Like,
Because
yeah.
I'd literally look like, if you didn't know me, you'd be like, "This guy's like,
Psychotic.
he's taking psychosis, but actual good version, of it, not shit version. But, like he's lost his head." And it would like the sets would always go well because I'd give myself so much time to
Yeah.
prepare.
There's no
But
option
now
not
it's
to
like
progress it,
again, like if you want to train and not get yourself aroused, then cool. But I'd look at it and think a lot of people, if you were to just have that baseline, I'm going to train like a bit of an idiot. I'm going to get myself. I'm going to look a bit stupid, but I'm going to train hard. Then you can fine tune. You'll be better. But nowadays it's fine tuned perfectly execution, but it's just train like a bit of a pussy and just not taking sets all the way there or doing. And usually it correlates. And I've said this before. The people that usually are on that side of things, when they come to getting on stage, they're not in condition. they haven't pushed themselves. They think, 30 minutes of cardio is a lot of cardio.
It's like how you do anything, it's how you do everything.
They do like, let's say 1,800 calories and they're like, oh, my food's so low.
So low, yeah.
And it's like,
Cardio's
often
so high.
you find it's like the ones that can take their sets all the way there, they're usually the ones who are a little bit mentally a bit like unstable.
They're in their off-season
they're
doing
fine.
really well and they go, I'm shit here.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, you're not.
And they don't even like question anything. Like if you were to say like, look mate, we're gonna have to do this. Like,
It's very
like,
it's very
no
rare.
pushback.
It's
It's
very
just
rare
like,
you've got a client who is like, they love themselves a little bit, and then they also work just as hard.
Yeah.
You never get somebody who's a really, really good client who has the like arrogance to back it up.
Yeah, everyone,
usually it's like
the best ones I've got are like they think they're shit. Like they're like, in their off season, can we do anything more?
Yeah.
I've got a lad and he's like 17 weeks out. He looks great. He's like, do I need to be doing anything else? And I'm like, no, I'm stressing you're almost going to be ready way too soon.
Well, people saying I want to start now. I want to start early.
Yeah, I've got other clients that are very, very good, but their work ethic is horrific.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you just had like a little bit of that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Right,
I've got other ones, but like they're not ones for like all of us.
Any nootropics coming out? That was one of the questions. Any focus on anything?
Yeah. Literally, that got signed off. Weird that you mentioned that, actually.
Really?
That formula got signed off.
This morning, that's why you were late.
No, literally what I say. It was signed off like on 3 days ago.
Oh, sound. Yeah.
Like, genuinely. So that should be around May. Back end of May. Along with 2 other health products.
Sound. Have you got the name of the nootropic? Don't say it.
Not yet, no.
You not thought of it?
No.
Have you got a few, like a short list?
Literally not even got a short list yet.
Oh.
The formula, and we've got the...
You got any suggestions?
What was that? Psychosis?
Psychosis nootropic. Yeah, like just like check-ins. Like, sorry, I've took 2 scoops of psychosis.
No. But yeah, no, there will be a nootropic, which I'm looking forward to getting. But
it's quite hard thinking of the names. I bet, you think of one and then you go, is that right? And then you come back to it.
How long was
way?
I
think we had conversation
months.
about it every other day.
What other ones did you have? What
Yeah.
other options?
Oh, we had like a massive.
Yeah,
there was like 30, wasn't there?
Really?
Like, it was hard because
I think
we were
it's good what you've got. Fair. Like,
because like we.
Yeah, you just ring me randomly and be like, what do you reckon start? And I'm like, dog. And then I ring you back and be like, what about this one? And be like, we'll sit on it. And then it's just.
It's so hard because obviously there's so many like whey proteins.
you don't want to copy anyone else or have it similar.
Exactly. Like it's hard, but at the same time trying to get like the point across of what it does. But it's also quite basic because it is just whey.
It's good though.
Do you know what I mean? Like it is hard.
I think it was between rebuild and
Yeah.
repair. I think they were like the final two. Obviously, we went with repair.
Yeah.
I think that was like the final. I think, but even that was like 2 weeks of just those two on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good though. What's the?
I bet they came down to like syllables. Repair or rebuild.
Sweat's got it.
Without a phone line.
which sounds better.
Yeah.
Like repair comes off the tongue.
Yeah.
Rebuild, it's like a bit more.
Yeah, harder
That
to
was
say.
literally, and then it was like, right, how? Yeah, there's so many things that go into.
Pete, I'm taking your job. I'm waiting.
Honestly,
Literally
that.
like,
Took
what-
you 2 weeks to
like,
come to
what-
that decision. Took me 2 minutes.
It's like, what do you do for Jack? I'm like, I don't know. Really don't at this point.
I do a lot, Pete. Don't say that.
Is the cream of rice just called cream of rice?
Yeah.
Have you tried it?
You have.
I have. It's very good.
What flavour did you choose?
I think I chose salted caramel.
Caramel biscuit.
Which is kind of biscuit.
What would you say is the best flavour?
I like salted caramel anything, so it's
Yeah.
always for me like salted caramel whey.
The salted
cream
caramel way
rice.
is good. The vanilla way. We were
Yeah.
saying this morning, like,
Salted
I don't know
caramel
which
way.
is better.
Yeah, very good. That was in there.
Yeah, good.
Right, that be that. What were we going to say?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Is it
Right.
about the cock question again? You want
Yeah.
to bring it up?
You want to go?
I've got to change my
I've been thinking about it for the last half an hour.
What if?
Sound. Was there any more questions or that?
We've got others that we can probably answer just when it's us. They're
Sound.
like kind of ones just for us two.
Cool. Well, it's been very enjoyable, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very
So
much
thank you
for
for having
coming
us
down. We'll put the appropriate links in the description. So drop them a follow. And as always, genuinely, the Conteh stuff is banging. Like me
Use
and Finn would
Fintech.
not.
Don't use any of these.
Conteh 10.
You can use any. Conteh 10, Pete 10, Fin 10, Reese 10.
Reese Fit 10.
Reese Fit 10. It's too long, that. That's like the rebuild thing. Reese Fit 10.
Yeah,
Fin
but-
10.
Right.
Six
Can we
syllables.
actually do a proper outro?
Yeah, sorry.
Right, so yeah, thank you for these guys to come. Hopefully everyone's enjoyed. Story tags, please tag them because we sometimes get story tags and they don't tag the guests, and it's like,
We're not important enough.
give them some clout because they came down. It was a good drive, and yeah, that'll be that. Right, thanks so much, guys. Subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.